Assalamu alaikum Blifeeians. I'm Asma and you're watching Bliifee, the place to be for Muslim life hacks to follow our deen more easily. And in this video, we will look at how do we love Allah. And the three questions that we will be exploring in this video is, first of all, what is love for Allah? What does it feel like? What does it mean? And then secondly, how do you get there? How do you love Allah and the steps to get there? And then finally, even if you do love Allah, why do we need that? Why do we need to love Allah? We will discuss all of that in this video, so let's get right into it. This time I have only one hand. Let's get right into it. I don't know if I should pin it here, if it'll look okay or not. So the first question is, what does it feel like to love Allah? Because when we love people, we feel like we want to take care of them, their well-being, their happiness, all of that matters to us. So we put in our time and energy into that for them. And also, love is, whatever you say about it, love is conditional when it comes to human beings. When someone starts to hurt you, there is definitely going to be a drop in that amount of love you have for them. So, is that how it is when it comes to love for Allah? When Allah tests us, does that mean that our love for Him also decreases? Personally, when I'm going through a hard time, I know that whatever I'm going through is from Allah and He has my back. Everything else is temporary, but and even if nobody else is there for me, He is definitely there looking after me, making sure I'm okay and making sure that I pick myself back up. And that's when I know that people don't really matter in that way. I don't really need to give them that importance that I used to give them. So that's also what brought me to the point of doing whatever I do for the sake of Allah, because Him and His expectations and His viewpoint of me is what matters to me more than what other people think of me. So that's when I know that whatever I do, I want to do it for the sake of Allah. Because I know that no one else cares about what I do, and even if nobody watches these videos, I know my intentions and Allah knows my intentions deep down. I'm doing it for the sake of Him. Allah knows my intentions and understands me better than anybody else can. But how do you get there? How do you love Allah? Here are 5 ways to do that. Number 1, people say that Allah is arrogant, He has so many rules, why do we need to get tested, and all of those sort of things. But those kind of statements become a roadblock, a barrier from getting to that point of loving Allah. And all the answers to those statements is simply by knowing why we have those rules. And when we take the time to understand those rules, we see that Allah only wants the best for us. And since He has created us, He knows what is best for us. Let's take a look at other people. Where are they now by breaking those rules? Are they happy? So that was the first point, understanding the rules that Allah has set for us because He wants the best for us. The next way to develop love for Him in our hearts is by knowing Him. We only love someone after we know them. So similarly, getting to know Allah. Who is He? What is He like? And we can find out more about this by learning more about Him, by learning and understanding those 99 names we know of Him. Another thing we can do is learning our history, from Adam alayhi salam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to your own history, from your birth till today. How many examples are there of Allah's love in your life? Knowing that He takes care of you despite us being a small speck in this huge wide world He has created, and He still takes care of each and every one of us individually. Just because He's taking care of one person does not mean He forgets you. And about our Islamic history, we can learn that through the Quran. Reading it and understanding it with tafsir, each and every ayah is so deep that we could be spending ages wondering and exploring it. And that leads me on to my next point, which is to spend more time with Allah. That we can do by slowing down in our prayers when we are in salah. And that is one of the points in this video where I talk about salah focus hacks if you're struggling with focusing in your salah. So that was one point, slowing down in your salah. Second point is praying more sunnah and nafil salahs, which is another way of spending time with Allah. And the best nafil prayer to spend time with Allah is during tahajjud. Waking up and spending time in tahajjud to get closer to Him. Whether you get your du'as that you make during tahajjud, whether they get answered or not, you do definitely get closer to Him by spending that time with Him in peace in a time where everybody else is asleep. And for that, if you want some tips, you can watch this video about how to wake up for tahajjud and how I did it for 21 days straight. Another way To spend more time with Allah is spending time in nature, looking at the birds, the grass, the sky, the water, and how everything is moving with the permission of Allah. You can also spend time looking at each leaf, how everything is in its place exactly where it's meant to be, and the beauty in the complexity of everything that Allah has created. Another way of spending more time with Allah is spending time in dhikr, remembering Allah and praising Him, making dua to Him, and all of this time that you spend with Him contributes to loving Him more. It goes hand in hand. When you spend more time with Allah, you learn more about Allah, and when you learn more about Him, you wish to spend more time with Him. Point number 4 on how you can love Allah is by doing more for His sake, purely for His pleasure. Forget others, forget people, just do what you do for Him. He knows and He understands, and no matter what anyone else says, you keep going as long as it is within the rules of our deen. Whether you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're studying, you're making videos, you're teaching someone, whatever it is, if you do it for the sake of Allah, it does not matter how other people react. It does not matter what they think. All that matters to you at the end of the day is how Allah thinks about you based on what you have done. And again, at the end of the day, no matter what everybody else says, you know that your effort has not gone wasted. So that was the 4th point, to do whatever you do purely to make Allah happy. The 5th way to loving Allah and increasing your love for Allah is loving what Allah loves. I made this video a few weeks ago about the 7 types of people from the Quran that Allah loves, and a lot of you guys loved that video, so definitely watch it if you haven't watched it yet. So we know Allah loves cleanliness, Allah loves kindness, sharing love. So loving what He loves and bringing those things into our own actions contributes to loving Him more. Now coming to our final question, why should we love Allah? What benefit does it bring to us? The first thing is that is what makes us a believer. When we believe in one true Allah, that comes along with the love for Him. When we know that there is only one Allah and we realize how much He takes care of us, we love Him even more. So that is directly related to our belief in Islam, our faith in Allah. Our belief and faith in Allah comes along with the love for Him. Secondly, love for Allah helps us get by in this dunya. When we love Him, we have no expectations from others, and we only expect from Allah, who always keeps His promise. No matter what we do here in this dunya, if we do it for the sake of Allah, then no matter how other people react, we know deep down that Allah is watching and what we did is for His sake, so we will get the rewards according to our intentions. That is another benefit of loving Him. Thirdly, loving Allah makes us feel at peace. When we don't have that peace, we crave to fill that empty space with other things like music, drugs, partying, etc., but it never satisfies us. The true thing that we need to satisfy us is the peace that only comes when we love Allah, and we spend time with Him and get close to Him. A few examples of how loving Allah affects our daily life is, first of all, when you love Him, you know that whatever you do, He's got your back and you have nothing to lose by following His rules. So when you give charity, even though in that moment it looks like your bank balance has gone down, you still give it because you know that the wealth you have is from Allah and you are sharing it with others out of love for Him. You know that you are not in loss by sharing what He has given you. Another example is when you give up a haram job for the sake of Allah, or a job that is taking away your peace and iman, or a job that does not allow you to pray your prayers on time. Believe it or not, but when you leave that job for the sake of Allah, He will open up doors to a much better job where they accept you for who you are, pray on time, and with a good salary as well. Remember that rizq comes from Allah. Okay, now we're deviating, but the main point here is that these are some examples in our daily lives of what we can do and what we benefit from when we have the love for Allah in our hearts. I would love to know other things that you guys also know that we can do to increase the love for Allah in our hearts. So let me know in the comments down below, as well as your favorite point from this video. If you found this video beneficial, then share it with others and get rewards for that too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Muslim life hacks like this. Until next time, live your beliefs and stay tuned to Bliifee. When I'm going through a hard time, he is the ultimate thing that because turns out it's better for me to use it like this and I sound better that way anyways. So knows my intentions and understands why I do it. And about history, we can learn our oh gosh, this plate keeps flying off my glass of water. And a lot of that people love that video. How was it? Did you like it? Give it a thumbs up.
So my dream for Jannah grows day by day, and I pray to Allah to guide me all the way till I make it to His paradise.